ever feel like when it comes to success strategies, it's like, where do you even begin? There's just so much out there, especially, in real estate. When every deal, it feels like, can make or break you, finding that right strategy, it's tough.
Yeah, it's like information overload, right? You're drowning in it.
Exactly. And that's why we're diving into, two kind of titans in this world of self-improvement and all that. Matthew Ferry and Tony Robbins.
Two very different approaches, for
I
sure.
heard. They're pretty much night and day in how they approach, achieving success.
Totally different playbooks.
Right. Like Ferry, he's all about this stress-free income accelerator. And he's got this term, enlightened prosperity, which I don't know about you, but that got my attention.
Yeah, that's a loaded phrase for sure. It definitely sparks some curiosity. What is that?
What does that even mean? Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about digging into Ferry stuff. He's laser focused on, those seasoned real estate pros who they want to, of course, close more deals, who doesn't, but they also want that sense of peace.
It's that balance, right? Because we know this industry, it's nonstop, high stakes, always on.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where, Ferry brings in this whole idea of the drunk monkey mind.
Okay. The drunk monkey mind, I like that.
Right. And it's that thing. It's like you're about to make that big offer and suddenly your brain's like, wait, what if they just laugh? What if your offer's way off? All that self-doubt comes creeping in.
That inner critic can really derail you.
Totally. And Ferry's, his whole system is about taming that, quieting it down.
So how do you actually do that? Because, we all have that voice, right? To some degree.
Absolutely. Well, he says by finding that inner peace, by quieting those negative thoughts, it actually primes you for greater success.
It's like clearing the runway before you try to take off.
Exactly. And here's the thing I find fascinating about Ferry's approach, his rapid enlightenment process. It's not just some, self-help fluff. This has actually been, studied, researched. It's backed by academics.
Oh, wow. Okay. So there's some real substance to it.
Yeah. It's like this blend of, ancient wisdom meets modern science. It's pretty cool.
I like that. So you're getting the best of both worlds.
Right. Now, on the flip side, you've got Tony Robbins, who's all about, that high energy motivation.
It's like the human energy drink, right?
Exactly. Think like packed stadiums, music blasting, people walking on fire.
Oh, yeah, the fire walk. That's a classic.
He's all about pushing your boundaries, embracing that inner power, and taking action, like massive action.
So less about meditation, more about let's go.
Yes, exactly. And that's where we see, that stark difference between these two. Ferry's about finding that stillness, that inner peace. Robbins is like, let's go, let's move. We're going to break through those fears.
Two different roads leading to, hopefully, the same destination. So, how do you know which road to take? Which one is right for you?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? And as we unpack both Ferry's and Robbins' approaches, we're going to kind of highlight those nuances, those differences.
Yeah, because it's really about, personalizing this. It's not a one-size-fits-all.
Absolutely. Because finding that right fit, that's what's going to unlock your success in real estate.
And beyond, I would say it applies to so many areas of life.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just about closing deals. It's about, living a fulfilling life, right? Both personally and professionally.
100%.
And that's what we're going to dig into.
So we're talking about two different approaches to personal growth, right? With Ferry, it seems like it's really about mastering that inner game first.
Absolutely. He's all about building that strong foundation from within.
Okay, I like that. So walk me through that. How does that actually work, especially, in the real estate world where it's so fast-paced?
So imagine this. You're prepping for a listing presentation, right? Ferry would say, before you even think about your pitch, your strategy, address that drunk monkey first.
Okay, because that can really trip you up.
Right.
If you go into a presentation and you're already doubting yourself.
Exactly. So he gives you these mindfulness practices, ways to reframe those thoughts, to quiet those mental distractions.
So it's almost like you're creating a calm, focused space within before you even step into that high-pressure situation.
Exactly. You're clearing the mental clutter. Right. And by doing that, Ferry says, you're able to think more clearly, you're more confident, and ultimately, the whole sales process, it flows more smoothly.
And it's not just about, closing the deal, right? He talks about enlightened prosperity. So there's a spiritual element to it as well.
Yeah, he's big on incorporating those spiritual practices.
Okay, so it's a more holistic approach.
Absolutely. And he believes that by doing that, you're tapping into, this wellspring of creativity and resilience, which are, let's face it, essential in real estate.
For sure. But what about those who maybe they need a more, I don't know, like a kickstart, something to really light that fire under them? That's more Tony Robbins territory, right?
Yeah, Robbins is all about that high energy, that take action kind of approach.
And he's not waiting for the universe to align. He's making it happen.
Exactly. And remember, neuroassociative conditioning, or
Right.
NAC.
Yeah. Rewiring the brain.
Right. So he believes that by consciously linking pleasure to those success-driven actions, we can actually rewire our brains.
So instead of dreading those cold calls, you're excited about them.
Exactly, because you're associating them with, landing that big client, closing that deal.
Okay, so it's like you're changing your relationship with those tasks.
Yes. And Robbins gives you tools to do that, like visualization techniques.
So you're not just thinking it, you're seeing it, you're feeling it.
Exactly. And that's what's so powerful about his approach is like, it's not just, positive thinking. It's about taking control and conditioning your mind for success.
He's definitely big on taking action.
Yeah. He's all about don't overthink it, just do it.
Which for some people can be really freeing, right? Because sometimes we get stuck in our heads.
Absolutely. And that's what I find so fascinating is that both approaches, even though they're so different, they both acknowledge the power of the mind, right?
Right.
Ferry seeks to kind of tame the mind through stillness, through mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
while Robbins is all about harnessing that mental energy through action, through conditioning.
So two sides of the same coin. And I think for someone in real estate, understanding both approaches could be really valuable.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not about choosing one or the other.
Right. It's about
Taking what works for you.
exactly, because it's not, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach to success.
Not at all.
And that's what we're going to kind of delve into further.
Yeah, let's unpack that some more. So, we've looked at Ferry, we've looked at Robbins, two totally different styles.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you know which one's your speed?
Yeah, it really comes down to what works for you, right? Like,
Mhm.
are you someone who thrives under pressure, loves a challenge?
Some people, they come alive in those moments.
Exactly. If that's you, Robbins, with that action-oriented approach, that might be your jam.
Especially in real estate. It's a fast-paced world. You gotta move quickly.
Oh, yeah. You got to be on your toes. And Robbins would say, embrace that. Use that energy. Trust your gut.
Don't hesitate. Just go for it.
Exactly. Turn that I can't into watch me.
I love that.
Yeah.
But what about, the folks who they resonate more with Ferry's calmer approach?
Right. It's not about being loud and aggressive. It's about that inner strength.
Yeah. How does that translate to, concrete results in the real world?
Well, Ferry would argue that by finding that inner peace, you're setting yourself up for better decision making.
Interesting. So less about like forcing it.
Exactly. You're not letting those emotions, cloud your judgment.
You're coming from a place of calm clarity.
Right. So whether you're negotiating a commission or knowing when to walk away from a deal, you're making those decisions from a place of strength.
Not from a place of like fear or doubt.
Exactly. And let's not forget the burnout factor.
Oh, that's huge, especially in this industry.
It's huge. And Ferry, he really emphasizes mindfulness, taking care of yourself, avoiding that burnout.
So you can have that success,
Yeah.
but not at the expense of your well-being.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, that sustainability.
The marathon, not a sprint, right?
100%. And at the end of the day, both Ferry and Robbins, they're giving you tools.
They're giving you different ways to approach the mountain.
Exactly. The key is take those tools, experiment, see what works for you, create your own path.
Because there's no one-size-fits-all,
Mm.
especially in real estate.
No, absolutely not. It's about finding what resonates with you, what feels right.
Yeah, listen to your gut, trust your instincts.
And don't be afraid to try different things.
And most importantly, I think, enjoy the journey.
Yes. Celebrate the wins. Learn from the challenges.
Because that's how we grow, right?
Absolutely. That's how we grow.
It's how we figure out what we're really made of.
100%.
Well, this has been awesome. Thanks for diving into these different approaches with me. Really interesting stuff.
My pleasure. Always a good conversation.
And to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep experimenting, keep pushing those boundaries, and most importantly, keep crushing it in real estate. We'll catch you next time.